for people who want your job, or for people who want you to be excited about their art. It seems like in the age of American Idol, people think there's an immediate, you just gonna get famous as soon as you have talent, you just gonna be out there. You said get your foot in the door. So by getting your foot in the door, what is a first step for someone who wants to do what you do and be where you've been?
I got into radio because I wanted to learn the music industry. So I moved to Connecticut to be closer to Steve, but also to get on YBC because it was a volunteer situation. So I said, I can learn radio this way. And, you know, the radio bug really hit me then. And then I became drive time personality. And like then all of a sudden everybody knew who I was, and it was like, it was just, oh man. And I loved it so much, even though I wasn't getting paid. My mother used to say, you are a fool. I loved radio so much that I joined not only Spectrum to do the urban music, but then I got with the college students and I was playing rock at night. You know what I mean? Because I just love being on the radio. It's just like I was just, you know, it was just my thing. And I think from that, from people seeing the dedication that I had, they said, hey, you know, we'll figure out a way to get you paid here. And I was a receptionist. Like I was technically a receptionist. Nobody knew it was going to happen that way, but it really came from my love and my passion just from wanting to be there.
Okay. So I think you said something important, so it's not so much, it can't be necessarily a hunt for money. And you have to be open to whatever.
You got to do what you love to do.
You say something real quick. Radio is like any other business right now. It's a recession hit everybody. Like even at radio station, you heard of cutbacks and you heard of people hiring freezes. Stuff like that goes on the radio right now. And that's how I got on the radio, just getting in the door, playing anything, saying I just want to be there. I want to be in the room with it, make sure what's going on. So if they happen to call my name, DJ Buck, everybody heard it. Even though I didn't say a word. You know, just getting in the door. But be focused and be ready for reality.
If you love this game or if you sing, the singers today, they have a very easy path to a degree. It's still a challenge. I know it's a challenge. But you have multiple ways of making money instantaneously. You're open to the World Wide Web. But radio is a more refined kind of industry. So for those who are pursuing our business, you have to go wherever you fit in. New York wasn't feeling me, so I jumped out of New York and found a gig, paying less money. Small market, but it allowed me to grow. And you know what? I think our egos get in the way of ourselves a lot, because we may think we're ready for a certain level, and when you really do the homework, I thought I was ready for a certain level. I really was not ready for New York when I wanted New York. And looking back on hindsight now, but that inexperience will convince you that you can do it all, and really everything happens when it's destined to happen. But to answer your question, don't be afraid to go to another extreme in order to kind of get it there.
I think as far as getting on radio now, it seems like it's so tough. You may have to go to, I'll use myself as an example. I had an offer to go to South Dakota to do radio. I couldn't do it because it's entirely too far. But, I mean, I'm not listening. You may have to go to South Dakota if you're really trying to do radio right now. You know, but you have to approach it. Even though it's not the #1 market, not New York, you have to approach it as if your audience is New York. You have to approach, I don't care where your audience is. Where your audience is, approach them, give them your best New York, and everything else will fall into place. Because if you invest in the audience, it'll come back to you, no matter where it is. 10 years ago, there was no such thing as YouTube. YouTube, as an entity itself, is only 5 years old. So, I mean, how far are you willing to go to pursue your dream? And then as you pursue it, you know, are you giving them your best work every time you come out? No matter where it is, or no matter what the size of the audience is. Like, I can't see all your faces right now, but the types of things that I'm talking about, I will be discussing this, whether it was the Academy Awards, or whether it's just here, or whether it's elementary school kids. Each audience has potential and genius in it, or they have information that information that I need to tell them or information that they need to tell me. That constant exchange. The best radio is an exchange.
My experience has been pretty much that there's two axioms that I've learned over the years that have helped me in every situation I've been involved in. One is that success is when preparation meets opportunity. You got to be prepared for success. You got to know your craft. You got to know your situation inside and out. Also, persistence always overcomes resistance. You got to be willing to really knock down the doors. You got to be willing to accept the hate, and that's hate from your own family, your own friends, your own community. There have been so many people over the years that we've supported that if it was coming from Hartford, if it was coming from New England, if it was coming from anywhere around here, they would not support. They had to come from somewhere else. And a lot of times they'll tell you that, even in radio, that you got to go somewhere else and then come back. They'll tell you that time and time again. And the thing that I've learned over the years is the first thing you have to start with is the love. You got to have the love. You got to love what you really want to do. I mean, love it to the point where no one can tell you. Doc P mentioned that his mother told him he was crazy for what. My mother did the same thing. I had records stacked up in my house, spending all my money on them. Where's this gonna go? I've had loved ones. I've had girlfriends. Why are you buying a turntable instead of buying me these pair of shoes? And secondly, learn everything you can learn about it. You cannot go up in people's faces if you don't know what you're talking about. You cannot do that. The other thing is, too, in this business, you have to network. You have to network. But it's not just so much important to network. It's important to be ready at the moment's notice to have your stuff, to have your CD, to have your card, to have whatever. Have it ready. Ready to go. Don't tell somebody you did this and that, and you can't back it up right then and there. I mean, these are things that we've talked about for years and years and years, and obviously there's been a lot of success stories and a lot of failures based on that. But it's very important. Because of the way the situation is now, the wagons are closing. So at the same time, don't be discouraged in that, because one of the things that's going to open up this thing, even if it's not directly with radio, is everything that's happening outside of that. The internet is so wide open, it's going to continue to be wide open, that you have to take advantage of that. You really have to do that. And if you have a story to tell, you have to tell that story. That's that's more important now than ever before. Because a lot of these stations, a lot of these record companies, a lot of any institution will not touch you unless you are a story. You have a success to tell.
You can't be afraid to be original. You can't be afraid to be yourself. Everybody has their story. Find what it is about you that makes you special and unique, and make that you. Make that you and bring that out.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for your information and your work, and I hope that people take the time to network with you for the next time we have here. So let's give a hand for Doc P, Doc Martin, Mouthpiece, Buck, and Lenny Williams.